Hello, friends. This is Danielle, and I'm super excited to take you on a tour today of our client primary suite retreat. This is a client that we worked with for several years now and had the wonderful opportunity of bringing the lead designer on the project D and to chat a little bit further about the project in detail. I know you mentioned having some challenges that you had to deal with in designing this space. Would you tell us a little bit about those and how you tackle them?
So I first met Linda, and we were working on two small areas of her house. Her house was built in the 1980s, and we're doing small things to update it. Well, then she gave me a call and said, "Hey, Dee, I would love for us to tackle the whole primary suite, including both the bedroom and the bathroom."
Was there obvious things that you knew you wanted to change within the space?
Oh, for sure. The first thing was just from a practicality is colors. Well, I knew Linda, I knew her colors, and with the idea that Linda loves color, but how to bring it in because she had a couple of different things that were important to her. One, that we take the bathroom and make it larger or as much as we could make it bigger. Secondly, is make it more calming, more serene within the rooms, but still bring a good use of color throughout both those spaces. And lastly, that it was going to be her sanctuary at the end of the day so that she could relax within that space.
I know you mentioned having some challenges that you had to deal with in designing this space. Um, would you tell us a little bit about those and how you tackled them?
Absolutely. Danielle, I think what's funny with when you have a home, and it doesn't matter if it's 1980s or 1800s, there's always those little unique things that they do during that era. And one of the things in the 1980s, it seems like there was always a lot of angles in ceilings. When they did that and have a distinct different seating area versus your area where your bed is, but in the size room, it really wasn't succinct. So I changed it because of taking the space from the bedroom to enlarge the bathroom. I decided, well, let's just do an angled fireplace so that way you have a really clear view of it from the bed or the seating area. Secondly, our other challenge was all the angles on the ceiling. So what I did there is I really had to do a drop ceiling, the form a tray ceiling effect. So that way we could cover up where all those different angles. And if you go back to the before pictures, you'll really see all the angles that I was speaking about here. Once we did that drop ceiling to make that tray, and then we were able to add different layers of lighting that when you go into the room at night or even during the day, you have more featured lighting that you can turn on that illuminates the room too. So that tray ceiling allowed me to be able to do the different layers of lighting. And once we did that too, I think what it really brought up is another area where I could add design through the colors, from the ceiling colored to wallpaper on the focal wall behind the bed. And you will be able to see that through the after pictures that we were able to do some really cool features with adding that tray ceiling in the master.
I think one of the fun parts of our job is, having a challenge like you did in this room with all those angles and being able to add an architectural element that not only looks good for. So I think that's always kind of a fun thing to see where it started and where it's come to be able to create a unique element within this space.
Oh, I agree 100%. And I think another part of this whole design project was adding the extra layers of the texture. It was through fabrics or through the great wallpaper that actually has like us crystal beaded like flicks within it so that when you really see it when you're in that room, it shows really that vibrance and that wallpaper, but adding to the textures of the bedding to the area rug, and then taking it into the tiles. So matching the tile from the bedroom to really matching it into the tile within the bathroom, that really helped with that flow between both rooms. One of the things that I did too is Linda loves color, but at the same time, we wanted a spa. Like, so how do we bring that color without it being, I don't know of any other way of saying it, but gaudy, within both of those rooms. So, really, within the steps of everything that was a huge part of this is how to kind of even out that color between both of the rooms.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You take a look at the room and the before pictures. I mean, it's deep teal, dark burgundy, red. It's just, you can feel you were transported back into the 80s when you first walked into the space, and being able to take the fact that she loves using color, but still doing it in such a balanced way that creates that spa like feel, that place of retreat at the end of the day. The balance of the light with the more bold colors was beautifully done.
Yeah, and I think one of my favorite parts, and I know Linda was, we love the area rug, that really just brought in that splash of that abstract, and instead of being through a piece of artwork, it's in the area rug, and then radiating that it's taking that same kind of spa feel, not too dark up to the ceiling, but then to the walls in the bathroom. In all our tiles, we stayed neutral. They were a beautiful porcelain that really added to that that serene feel by the waves that were in those tiles. I know in the end of the day, when you go and you sit in those beautiful teal chairs by the windows, you know that it is your oasis to go away to. If it's just to read a book, to listen to a podcast, whatever it may be, that bedroom definitely brings that. Danielle, that is probably my favorite part of working with a client. And, to this day, it's just been not that long ago that we did these two rooms. I still love walking in there. We go to her house to work on another project. And I think that, I pause here because it makes me think about each and every client. And I think my pause is that I'm just proud that I'm able to do that for her, and that is really what it's about, is that I could do it for Linda and Bill, and that in the end of the day, that's my favorite part of my job.
And for their Great Danes, can't forget that it's always about the pets too.
And for their Great Danes, can't forget that it's always about the pets too. You have those Great Danes, and I do know that they are not allowed on that bed. We want to make sure that we do have that oasis. It's separate from those pets that come in. But again, we do have our pets that love to lay on the back of the beds, like my Abby, my big giant schnauzer, does in my house. So it's having the right things that will work with each and every client depending on their lifestyle.
Well, Dee, I appreciate you chatting with me today about this absolutely stunning space that you created. And thank you for everyone for checking out our video today. I hope that you enjoyed a little bit behind the scenes look at the process of how this room came together. And we look forward to sharing more projects with you. You can see more projects we have done on our website at twillyandfig.com. And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest.